Today, I'm going to show you how to get the Studio Ghibli look in DaVinci Resolve. Now, how I'm going to do this, I'm going to use this clip here. I'm going to go over to the Effects tab, and you can see here, I've already converted this to Rec 709. How I've done this, I put in my camera's color space, and then I put the output as 709, and then I'll go down here and put the gamma output as 2.4. Now that we've done that, I will add another node to the beginning of this, and you can see right now everything is overexposed. So I'm going to first adjust the exposure. I'm gonna put in my camera's color space. Then I'm going to lower the exposure to about -1. Now you can see here, usually Ghibli films, they look very bright and airy, kind of like how it is overexposed, but you can see once we bring the exposure down, the darks are a little too dark, but the highlights look great. So how we're gonna combat this is we're gonna go over to the blacks, darks, and shadows. I'm gonna turn the shadows up by 2.5, and that doesn't make too much of a difference, but then I'm gonna put the darks up by 0.5. Now, it's not perfect, but if I turn both of those off, I might actually adjust this even more. So I might go 0.1 on that, 0.5 on that. I might even wanna turn up the lights just a bit. Now you can see we have a little bit more of a brighter image. Now that looks good. Next, I will add some contrast to this image. Name that contrast. Here, I'll go to my curves tab and I'll just grab the darkest part of the image, and then I will grab the lightest part of the image and just adjust the two until I get something I like. What we can do is add some saturation to give this more life. Let's see. I'm gonna go to here, turn on HSV, turn off the first channel, turn off the third channel, and then I'm just gonna pull up the gain. And you can see this saturates it really well, bringing the darkness of the clouds in more, and it gives it this nice kind of saturation. Let's see. I might go, that might be a little much, so I might go to 1.39 looks good. And you can see already this looks kind of like a Studio Ghibli image. Finally, I'm going to adjust the hue. And another thing we can do is adjust our PL. So I'll do that first. I will grab one of the whites. You can do that with the clouds, with anything else. And you can see it's a very slight adjustment. Really, it's pretty much nothing, so I can get rid of this node because it's already pretty much balanced. But with our hues, we're gonna go to the vector scope. And here, I'm just gonna adjust the hues to how I like. Now, Studio Ghibli, usually with the greens, they're kind of like really vibrant and they pop and they're kind of light. So we're gonna try to do that here. First, with the hues of the greens, I'm going to bring that down. And you can see already the greens look a lot more like a Studio Ghibli movie now. With my reds, just slightly off. So now I got that in the right place. And the blues are in a pretty good spot, but I might make that a little more teal. Maybe 2. There, now that's perfect. Now this is really looking like a Studio Ghibli image. Now let's see, I will now adjust the saturation. So the greens are usually very vibrant, very saturated. I won't go oversaturated with these, but I will boost it up just a bit. You can see that change there. The yellows are also a little bit more saturated than you would see in a normal image. Same with the reds. After that, I'll pull up the blues. I will pull up these cyans. And you can see this is really looking like a Studio Ghibli scene right now. The magentas, I don't think there are any in this image, but I'll pull them up just in case. Now we can go to our luminance tab. Here I will be pulling up the greens. Now that I've pulled those up, I'm going to pull up the yellows a little bit to about here, and the yellows slightly more down. And you can see I really brighten those up. Now with the reds I'll keep about the same at 1. The blues, I might bring down by 0.8 just to give it some contrast. I'll go down 0.9 there. And it's kind of just like this S curve, but with the luminance and the hue. Now you can see this makes a huge difference. And I won't touch any of these other saturation tabs, but now I can add a glow. I'll go up here, type in glow, and I'll drag and drop this onto this node. Now you can see that's a little too much, but I'll bring the shine threshold down, the spread down, I'll bring it for now, and I'll bring the gain down. And you can see right now this is like way too vibrant, but we're not going to really use this for contrast, so I'm going to put this at 0.2, which is kind of like the middle ground, and I'm going to go to the spread and bring it to 0.5. That's looking pretty good. Maybe I'll do 1.3. Now 1.3 is looking pretty good. I'm going to adjust the amount that this is affected. I'll do 0.6 and see how that looks. 0.7. 0.7 is looking pretty good. And that is the glow. Okay, now this part's optional, but if you really want to get the Studio Ghibli look, this is probably the best way to do it if you want to do it with live footage. But I'll go to here, type in water, drag down watercolor, and I will do RGB, and I will bring this down to 0.001. I will actually put this back to luminance, and now we've got like a watercolor painting instead of footage. Now this is just kind of like a gimmicky effect, but this is essentially how you get the Studio Ghibli look. The only problem I see with this is like maybe the greens here. So what we can do is go to the color warper, go down to the minimum amount, grab the greens that are right here, and just bring them more green. That might be too much, but now those are a lot more green, and you could of course make this more subtle, like 0.83 or 0.82, and that's looking pretty good. Anyway, that is how you get the Studio Ghibli look in DaVinci Resolve. Anyway, I hope you have a good day. Thanks for watching.